in front of me, I have the holy trinity of Serato DJ controllers, and in this video, we're gonna find out which one is right for you. What's up, bros? Today I want to talk to you guys about the top 3 DJ controllers that are currently out on the market today. In front of me, I have the holy trinity of DJ controllers. This is, in my opinion, the top 3 DJ controllers out on the market today. Starting with the Pioneer DDJ SB3, then we move up to the Pioneer DDJ SR2, and then we have the holy grail of them all, the DDJ 1000 SRT. In this video, I'm going to share with you guys the pros and cons, the good, bad, and ugly out of all these controllers to hopefully make it easier for you to decide which one is right for you. Now, I will say this is more a good, better, best in my opinion, because all these controllers are honestly great controllers. You can't go wrong with either or. Starting with the DDJ SB3, this controller currently retails for around 250 bucks. Step up to the DDJ SR2, this controller currently retails for about 700 bucks. And once you step up to the big boy, the DDJ 1000 SRT, you're gonna be looking at paying around $1,300. Now, all 3 of these controllers have something in common. They all work with Serato DJ Pro. They all come equipped with Serato DJ, with the exception of the DDJ SB3, that out of the box, it comes with Serato DJ Lite, which is pretty much a dumbed down version of Serato DJ Pro, but it is upgradable to Serato DJ Pro. I am well aware that there are other great DJ softwares. However, it is in my fair opinion, it will behoove you to start with Serato out of the gate when you start your DJ career. I don't know where you guys are at in your DJ career, but in my opinion, Serato is the go-to DJ software, at least here in the United States where I live. When you go into places that have a house system, 9 times out of 10, I've always found that it was a Serato-based DJ system. This isn't always the case. I'm well aware that there are other DJ softwares out there. In fact, there are different versions of some of these controllers that do work with those other programs. Let's talk about which controller is right for which DJ. So if you're just getting started out of the box, you're probably gonna go with the DDJ SB3. At only 250 bucks, this is not a bad controller to work on. Like I said, it's upgradable to Serato DJ Pro. Everything that you need is here. You have 2 turntables and a mixer. Obviously, I know their jog wheels are not turntables, but you get the idea. Now, what about intermediate? Let's say you already learned all the basic and you're looking to go pro, you're looking to step up your game, then you would come up to the DDJ SR2. Now, this is a bit of a blurry one because the SR2, in my opinion, is a pro controller. I wouldn't consider this an intermediate controller because it's got a lot of built-in pro features, and we'll talk about those in just a little bit. Now, let's say money isn't an issue and you want the best of the best DJ controller currently available, then I would go for the DDJ 1000 SRT. I'm well aware that there are other controllers that are more expensive, that have way better features, but in my opinion, the best bang for your buck is going to be the DDJ 1000 SRT. And as previously mentioned, if you have no intentions of DJing bars or nightclubs and things of that nature, then they do have a record box version of these. So let's start with the baby of the bunch, the DDJ SB3. If you're just getting started at 250 bucks, you can't beat this controller. This controller is awesome. It's got 8 built-in performance pads. It's got an awesome feature that teaches you how to scratch. As previously stated, it does come with Serato DJ Lite, but for just 10 bucks a month, or what I recommend that you guys do is just buy it outright for just $100 extra. Now you're looking at $350. You can upgrade to Serato DJ Pro, and now after you mastered this controller, you're pretty much ready to rock out on any system. I see a lot of guys get spooked after moving from this to moving to CDJs and, you know, moving to a bigger controller like the ones next to me. But honestly, the only thing you need to master is the jog wheels, the cue pads, and the mixer. Once you learn how to do all that stuff, you're pretty much ready to rock out on any system. This is the perfect beginner controller in my opinion. Everything that you need is all here. There are some drawbacks if you do want to actually go out and perform gigs with this controller. This controller was more designed to be an at at-home controller, so you do have to jump through a bit of hoops if you want to use this controller at live events, just because it does only have RCA output. You are going to need to go out and buy an external mixer to wire everything up, so it does get a little bit messy. Secondly, the inputs for the microphones on these controllers really do suck. I thought that was such a weird design the way they made this. The inputs for the microphone are located on the rear. I know that's pretty standard, but however, the volume control for the microphone is also located on the rear of the controller, which just kind of blows my mind. But despite that, in my opinion, this is still a great DJ controller. I've made video reviews on all three of these controllers, and I'll link them up in the card above. I really love this thing. Also, if you're a pro guy and you need a backup, you should always have a backup. This is the go-to backup controller, and I still can't believe that price point. 250 bucks? A PlayStation costs more than this thing. This thing is awesome, and you can definitely start making some money right out of the box with it. Love this little guy. The DDJ SR2 coming in at 700 bucks. A lot of people consider this an intermediate controller. I think that's wrong. This controller, in my opinion, is a pro controller. I love this guy. This thing is awesome. This controller is a little bit bigger than the DDJ SB3. A lot of people kind of crap on this controller because it is still a compact small controller. It's only a 2-channel controller. However, it's a powerful little guy. This thing has all the professional inputs and outputs that you'll need. We're talking about XLR outputs. We're talking about booth outputs. And additionally, it has a master RCA out. So you have 3 different types of outputs on this controller. That RCA out is crucial if you're a mobile DJ. If you do weddings, you're going to need to have an extra output where your videographer can plug in to the mix board so that he can record things like toast, things like ceremony, and things of that nature. This thing has it all built in. Additionally, this controller can grow with you. This controller allows you to plug in auxiliaries, meaning you can plug in things like an iPod, an iPad, or any device really, because this is a true mixer. You can also attach CDJs. You can also attach turntables. It does have a ground, so you can ground your turntables to this. Just switch the assignment on your faders, and now you have a built-in mixer right here on this controller. Obviously, eventually, you're going to need to buy a dedicated mixer if you really want to upgrade, because the fader is not the best on this controller. So let's talk about some of the cons about this controller. At 700 bucks, I would have loved to have seen dedicated effects with this controller. The effects found on this controller are still software based, just like the ones that were found on the SB3. The pitch faders on this controller are very tight, very small. Your jog wheels are also still very small. However, if you can overlook that, in my opinion, this is the best. This is by far the controller that surprised me the most. I just really wish that they would have added a dedicated effects section that would have made this controller absolutely perfect. Let's talk about the big boy of the group, the DDJ 1000 SRT. This thing is immensely popular. It is a lot more expensive than these 3. This one comes in at 1,300 bucks, but this thing is awesome. If you want that pro feel that you see at festivals and big nightclubs with the CDJs and the big DJ M900 mixer, this is as close as you're gonna get without dishing out the type of money that you need to get a setup like that. For a setup of that nature, you're looking at around 6,000 bucks. This controller is a bargain compared to that. We're getting to a point where these controllers are just as good as CDJs, if not better. Rest assured when I say this, I believe that we will reach a point when Pioneer's flagship system is not the CDJs, but a controller. I think we're almost there, but not quite, but I'm pretty sure in a couple years, a flagship system from Pioneer will be a controller and not 3 pieces of gear. I could be wrong, however. Maybe CDJs go on to live another 100 years, but I'm pretty positive that eventually the flagship system will be a controller. While not the biggest controller out on the market, it's a decent sized controller, and it actually does mirror CDJs and a DJ M900 mixer. This controller features 4 channels, all assignable, so you can still do things like plug in CDJs and plug in turntables, just like we discussed on the SR2. Additionally, this controller is club ready. It allowed you to switch between DJs seamlessly because it's got 2 computer inputs, meaning that you can swap between DJs flawlessly. If you're a mobile DJ and you want to have a backup computer ready, you can always have a computer ready to go because you can have 2 computers plugged in at the same time. You're also going to get 2 microphone inputs as well as an XLR microphone input, something that was previously not found on the previous 2 controllers. Additionally, one of my biggest complaints with the previous 2 controllers is addressed on this controller. You have dedicated built-in effects. Trust me when I say this, there is a night and day difference between software-based effects and dedicated effects. Additionally, you're also going to get color effects. You do have filters built into the SR and the SB. However, on the 1000, your color effects can now do way more. You have echo, you have pitch, you have filter, and you have noise. Remember when I mentioned that on this controller you can plug in CDJs and turntables? Well, yeah, you could do that, and you can do this on this one as well. However, the crossfader on this is honestly not the best. The crossfader on this controller is freaking awesome. It's as good as the crossfader found on the S9 mixer. The pitch faders were also addressed. You now have full-size pitch faders on this controller, as well as full CDJ size jog wheels. I honestly do love this controller. This is my current workhorse. This is what I take out to all my events. I actually ended up stepping down from that flagship system, which was 2 CDJs and a DJM 900 mixer, to this. I love the fact that it's a small controller relative to CDJs and a mixer. However, everything does feel cramped. I wish they would have added maybe just 1 or 2 inches more just so that everything had a little bit more room to breathe in. Additionally, at this price point, I know this is kind of asking for a lot, but I would have liked this unit to be a standalone unit. Even if you just gave us 1 SD card input or 1 USB input, I think it would be great, especially for mobile guys. I'm well aware that there is already a standalone DJ controller that allows you to plug in USBs or whatever, but I think at this price point, this one warrants one too. When I use my CDJs, I love having the peace of mind that if my laptop ever went down, I had an SD card with pretty much every single song that I had on my laptop ready to go, built into the CDJ. All I had to do was just look for the song that I wanted. I think something like that would be really cool to have, especially on a system like this. Aside from all those things, this is the controller that finally made me hang up the CDJs and move to a controller. I always saw DJ controllers as toys until this thing came out, and then it just really opened my eyes and showed me how great controllers are. I was blown away by how great this is, how crazy it resembles the actual big standalone system. This is just a beast of a controller, and the price point is great. This controller costs less than 1 CDJ. Well worth it for clubs, bars, nightclubs, mobile DJs. This thing is ready for anything. Bros, thank you so much for watching this video. I'd love to get your opinion on any of these controllers. Let me know if you have the SP, the SR, or the 1000 down in those comments below. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. I'd love for you to help out the community. Let us know the pros and cons of each. Additionally, let me know if you agree with me. I know a lot of you guys aren't going to agree with me about only recommending Serato controllers. I know a lot of you guys have a lot to say about Rekordbox and Virtual DJ. Let me know why. Change my mind down in the comments below. Bros, thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you found it helpful and informative. If you liked it, please be sure to hit that like button on your way out. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to turn on that bell. Signing off, DJ Bar. Stay awesome, bros. Peace.